Hey there, my name is Pravus, and welcome to the Riftbreaker. This game's been around since October of last year, and it's currently enjoying very positive reviews on Steam. It's an interesting mix between a base builder, a tower defense game, and it throws in a healthy amount of hack and slash action as well, just to keep you on your toes. This video was actually sponsored by the developers who wanted to let you guys know that the game will be on sale for the rest of the week, starting on May 30th. So if you guys like what you see and you'd like to learn more, there is literally no better time than now to click on that link in the description down below. I should also note there's a planned DLC to be released in July called Metal Terror, which sounds pretty intense, but it's not available quite yet. So for now, we're going to go ahead and jump into a new campaign. And here we are appearing through the rift. We are now a good 25,000 light years away from Earth on a new alien world that we are looking to make habitable for humans at some point in the near future. We are going to be running around in this giant Mecha Suit, which does have its own AI associated with it. He's called Mr. Riggs, and we love him oh so much. And we're going to be using this to explore the world, to gather up various different resources, to fight the local alien wildlife, and construct a thriving base. First thing I need to do is find some basic resources. There are two of them that you'll really need to worry about at the beginning of the game. One is called Carbonium, like this right over here. The other, actually there's a deposit nearby, called Ironium, is going to also be very important. There are other resources in the game, but these are the two you're going to be using as the building blocks for just about everything. So I want to go ahead and start extracting some of this. Now the Carbonium is the most important at the very, very beginning because you'll use this for almost every single structure, and I need 200 of this in order to build up a headquarters. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and start extracting, and then we're going to enter building mode by hitting the control key, and I can place down our first headquarters. So I'll go ahead and place one, let's say right over, let's kind of place it in the middle of this area. Nice and easily defended by a couple of rocks and stuff around here in case the aliens start getting a smidge uppity. In the meantime, let's go ahead and continue extracting more Carbonium because I'm going to need all of this in order to start automating some resource extraction. This should be enough just to kind of get me started. Let's go back into build mode. I'm going to start extracting resources here using a Carbonium factory. The Carbonium factory is going to start automatically extracting some of the Carbonium and sending it back to me. Not via any belts or anything, it just magically will get teleported into my inventory, which makes sense. We're an interesting, version of a dimensional and rift-hopping humanity, so teleportation makes a lot of sense and takes out a lot of the tedium of planning out your logistics structures. Now let's go ahead and get some more Carbonium, and I need to start powering up these buildings. To do that, I'm going to take advantage of a Carbonium power plant, which will extract some of the carbon directly out of the ore deposit and turn it into power. We'll also make sure we connect this via a electrical line to the main base so we can share storage across the board. And now once this thing is built, we're going to see that it starts powering up my Carbonium factories, and up here in the top right, you can see that we are now making 2 Carbonium per, I don't think it's per second, but it's something around there. Doesn't seem like a lot, but it will add up over time, and we're going to have a lot of these factories as we go. I'd also like to go ahead and start extracting some of this Ironium, because I also want to go ahead and get that rolling. It's going to continue to generate only 1 per second, so the faster we get this going, the more advantage I can get out of it, and that'll at least get me started on the basics of the economy. Now, it's warning me over in the top left as they continue working on the narrative story over here that I am going to be attacked fairly soon by a lot of the alien local wildlife, and they are vicious little buggers. In fact, in a lot of ways, this game seems a lot like Factorio, but minus, the miles and miles of long belts in order to get all the resources back to the main base. We need to set up some walls, and we're going to need to set up some towers in order to defend ourselves passively. And of course, I can also get in there with my handy sword or with my gun, like this, and kill off a bunch of the aliens myself. In fact, here's some of the local wildlife now. Die, die, die! Mwahahaha. Yeah, these little guys are extremely vicious. There are many different kinds of aliens on this world, but they're all united in how much they seem to hate you. Be careful running into large groups like I'm doing right now, because you do have some shields and some health located right down over here. Fortunately, if you ever do find yourself in dire straits, you just run back to your headquarters and you will heal back up. No problem at all. What I'm doing right now is trying to find any sign of any additional resources that I can exploit. But I don't feel like I'm getting lucky on that, so I think I'm going to go ahead and set up a third Carbonium factory right over here and make sure we keep this going as fast as we can. And for good measure, maybe we also toss on another Ironium factory. But we're going to start having some power issues in the near future, so what I also want to do is maybe set up a power storage system right here, because I can store up to 1,000 power, but I can increase that tenfold with one of these. And then maybe toss on a few little extra power plants. I'm thinking like some solar panel, maybe also some wind. Eventually, we could also go for some biomass if I continue chopping up all the local fauna like this. That could also work. Now, because resources teleport to you, there's really not much reason not to go ahead and place down some outposts, which you can use to just go ahead and extract more resources even if they're far away from the base. No problem at all, you know? You can just get it teleported right back in. The only problem, of course, is that you're going to have to defend it if you want to maintain those resources. But for the moment, this seems kind of acceptable. So I'm going to go ahead and place down a Carbonium factory here, plus a couple more of these. Whoop, hit shift, didn't mean to do that. There we go. And this like so. Perfect. All right, so that's even more resources heading back to the base. The reason I want lots of Carbonium is because I use that to construct walls in particular. And we're going to need a lot of walls to defend this base. I want lots of room to grow. Let's go to our defense over here, and we can set up some walls kind of going like this. I'm going to make use of the rocks as much as I can because I think those are convenient. We can also place down a gate to make it easy for me to get around, and I'm just going to encircle this base as best as I can. Now, the game is currently recommending I also build something here called an armory, and I do agree that that would be a wise thing to construct, so let's go ahead and place this here. What's going to end up happening at an armory is it's going to start automatically crafting ammunition to refill my guns, and just like everything else, it's going to get teleported to me bit by bit. So as we continue wandering around and exploring the world, we don't have to worry about running back to the base to refill, because that would be tedious. Instead, it just slowly starts filling back up, so I can continue firing off a few more shots. Now, if you find yourself in a situation where you are injured, kind of like I am right now, here's a fun thing about teleporting around. We just open up our map, and I can jump right back into the base. Boom! Just like that. And also, I have a return portal if I do want to return at some point. Very, very helpful for getting around the map very quickly, and if we want to go to our defenses, we could place down some rift portals in lots of locations, such as around our resource nodes that we already were uncovering up in this direction, and it's a very easy way for us to quickly respond and get over to defend our resource outposts. Now, we're going to be getting attacked in just a little bit by some of these local bugs. I do want to place down some towers if we can, but something else I know I'm going to need is an AI node. If you look up over here to the top right, you'll see 4 out of 4. That's how many towers I can place with our current AI configuration through Mr. Riggs. But if I want to place down more towers, let's say 6 or so, I'm going to need more nodes in order to manage a lot of that. My problem is I only just now figured out where the enemy is going to be coming from, and it is in the bottom right. And we got a lot of rocks already defending myself, so I don't know where they're going to come from, but it's probably going to be in this direction or up over here. So let's start by simply placing at least a couple of towers. Something like this is going to be plenty to get us going. They do require some power as well, but fortunately they don't require any ammunition. There are other towers that will be available in the game at some point, but for right now we're okay. Let's just make sure that we have plenty of power generation and that each of them are hooked up to the nodes, and we should be able to easily defend ourselves passively from this upcoming wave. Case in point, looks like our towers are already at work shooting at a whole load of bugs who are running through over here. Now, I cannot shoot over these walls the way things are set up, but I can use my sword very effectively to cleave my way through to victory, so we'll go ahead and do this. The first wave is never really all that bad anyway. There we go, we have survived some of that. Okay, at some point we're going to want to get some upgrades for these towers. We're going to want to get new types of towers, better, stronger defenses, but for now, this should tide me off for a while. Now, we can get over the fact that I can't shoot walls if I were to place down a handful of these helpful little platforms like this. I would simply walk up on top of them, and now I can shoot over some of the walls. I find that pretty helpful. I usually place some somewhat close by and the turrets immediately behind so they can shoot over me, but I don't have to worry about shooting around the turrets. That would just be a lot of wasted, very valuable ammunition, am I right? Now, at this point, the next thing I want to do is go ahead and upgrade our HQ, which takes 550 carbonium, no, sorry, just 500 carbonium and 500 ironium, so we need quite a lot. And it's going to take a couple of minutes, but once we have this unlocked, I'm going to start getting access to technology and research, which is going to be a very powerful way to continue upgrading not only my suit for better combat, but also unlock some additional resource generation. Looks like we have another wave approaching right now. Good time for me to just hop onto my platform and unleash the minigun! Huzzah! Oh, this is going to be satisfying as heck now, ain't it? Now, we can craft upgrades for my rig, especially at the armory. That's actually a prerequisite for pretty much anything fun over there. We'll be able to get ourselves a flamethrower, a missile launcher, all sorts of really powerful weapons. For right now, the minigun will do against these small guys, but it is not going to last, because the further away from the base you get, the larger and scarier these aliens are going to be. So let's go ahead and open up the crafter right along here. For example, let's say that I wanted to get a shotgun or a blaster or something like that. It would cost a handful of resources in order to do so. I would like to craft some armor plating. That would translate into some extra health for my rig, and we can go to our inventory and simply add it in right over here, like so. Perfect, and now I have an upgrade. You can have up to 3 different weapons in each of your respective arms, and the Q and E keys by default are going to transition which weapon you currently have equipped. Now, every once in a while, you're going to have weather events on this planet. For example, right now, we've got some slow wind and a dense fog. 2 double whammies, slowing down my power via windmills and also kind of ruining my solar plants. So I'm going to go ahead and build up a biomass power plant over here, and as long as I continue to chop up the local fauna and gather up some plant biomass, we'll be able to send that over to the power plant and generate a pretty hefty amount of power. It's a good option. It just requires that we are constantly, shall we say, trimming the lawns. And there's a lot to trim. Oh, here's an example of some of those bigger alien things I was telling you about. These guys will charge after you and cause issues. Minigun can only do so much against them. You really want to get some sort of armor-piercing weapon at some point if you can. But we're not there yet. Let's go ahead and teleport back to the base. The next thing they want me to build is going to be a communications hub, and this is where I gain access to the research I was telling you about. While we're waiting for this to build, I'll note down in the bottom left, we do have an action bar with a few different things, mostly for holding items such as a quick self-repair kit, or perhaps placing down a mine. If we go over here and just press number 2, for example, that should drop a mine right here, which of course will explode as soon as some aliens run nearby. I believe at some point we unlock some big scary mines, like, I don't know, a nuke? That would be kind of crazy. Haven't messed with that personally yet, but that would be fun. All right, the communications hub is built, which means now we can start working on research. I'm going to hit the O key, and oh boy, there are a lot of different things that you can research if you are interested in those. For example, we have some upgrades for our base and buildings. We could go for a biomass power plant that then runs off of animal meat as we continue to kill all of the aliens. Or we could go for radar and get a better vision of the map around us. Repair facilities, ammo storage so we can hold on to more. Upgrades for our turrets, which will eventually turn into such things as artillery turrets and flamethrower turrets and stuff too. That's all exciting. Cobalt handling would allow us to start working on a Geo Scanner and start looking for underground treasure. That would be kind of fun. Upgrade the headquarters could be a thing. Orbital Scanning, so we can do other special missions on the planetary screen, which I haven't even shown you yet. And then a whole bunch of new weapons. I want to go ahead and research the flamethrower, so I'm going to add this to the research queue. It's going to take 5 minutes in the game in order to research this. Other things I wouldn't mind getting access to, we could go for better armor, some new melee weapons, that could be kind of fun. Let's go for an explosive weapon, and then let's go ahead and start working on, say, orbital scanning plus maybe a radar. That could all be nice, and you can rearrange your research as needed, but you can see there's a lot to go for. A lot to go for in this game for research. It will take many, many hours of playing to get everything unlocked. If you find yourself getting full up on resources, by the way, don't hesitate to place down a few more storage depots for those resources. You really are going to want to be able to hold on to as much ironium and carbonium as possible. And note that even though we're not really generating all that much, especially when I'm full on my current storage, it doesn't really matter. We're generating up enough that I can continue to run around and explore and exploit the world without having to worry about doing a lot of the hand mining myself. Now, strictly speaking, it's not absolutely necessary to go exploring the world around me quite yet. I'm being a little bit bold in the interest of seeing what's on the map, find some additional resource deposits like this one, which is actually in a good defensible spot. Those are things that I could certainly do. Also, there are going to be special, like, alien pods, and if I find one, I'll show it to you guys, but... Oh, aliens, hang on. Get in here! Ha! Fools! Human dominance has come! Anyway, they can get you some extra discoveries, like new types of buildings unlocked and so on. Also, eventually, some special alien research, which you can see right over here, but I haven't personally messed with any of these yet. We have to first get alien research to unlock it. Whoa, I seem to have drawn a lot of these guys' attention. Yeah, These aren't even the big scary guys, though. We can continue kind of strafing away from these guys and swiping with my sword and getting a few shots off, and we'll be fine. There are some that are stealth, some that launch like little artillery blobs of acid at you. Yeah, there's a lot of nastiness out in the world. Lots of nastiness on this planet. It's so hostile. Ah, we have new technology available. Fantastic. That flamethrower would come in handy right about now. It's very effective against these little guys, but the good news is we can just teleport right back to the base and heal up. All right, let's see. We're gonna go to our crafting over here. I want a flamethrower. Take some ironium and some carbonium. And just like with the other weapons, ammunition will automatically start being replenished over time. So you can pretty much have whatever you want on here. I don't really care about the blaster too much. It doesn't require any ammunition, but it fires a little bit slow. I'm just gonna go ahead and swap this thing out for a flamethrower. Burn, baby, burn! This is a very good way to set the entire place on fire, by the way, if you're kind of feeling like a little bit of a pyromaniac. I don't really advise it, because it's a waste of plant biomass, but it looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Ooh, okay, so here's one of those discovery points I was telling you about. Whoops, hang on, need to burn these guys. There we go, burn them all. Once you start to discover this, it'll take a few seconds, but it tends to immediately trigger a wave of enemies to come and attack you and try to stop you. So there's not a lot of point in committing for the next 10 seconds. It'll take too much damage. But once you deal with this wave, you can get back into it. Look how effective! Look how effective the flamethrower is. Of course, I ran out of ammunition, but that's fine. That's why we got other little guns. Yay! All right, we'll get back over here, and we'll go ahead and start messing with this. Now, somewhere on the map are supposed to be nests for your enemies to be spawning. And if we can possibly destroy those, there's a lot of valuable rare materials we can get out of that. That's something I was looking for there. We got Dash Fire Award. I believe that is a special module that I might be able to use to upgrade my mech. But let me deal with these guys first. Now, what is the overall objective for this particular campaign mode? There might be more later. Well, the first thing we want to be doing is really getting a rift station set up so we can communicate again with Earth. And this is going to take a fair bit of space because there's a lot of different resources that need to get fed into this thing in order to create a functional teleporter to Earth 25,000 light years away. So this is going to cost me a lot of resources, 1,000 of carbonium and ironium, and a ton of energy and stuff is going to be necessary as well. It says 10,000 energy per second, which seems like, shall we say, a lot. But let's go ahead and start placing down the foundation because this continues the main milestone of the campaign, and hopefully at least will tell me how I'm supposed to get a bunch more resources. In the meantime, burn more aliens! It's satisfying and therapeutic. Let's see, I'd like another weapon to add to my roster. How about the rocket launcher? We also have grenade launchers and floating mines, but I like this one. It's got some really good splash damage onto this thing. Very good for dealing with big targets. So go ahead and equip on that, and honestly, I like using my left click for my melee weapons and my right click for range stuff as much as I can, though I don't mind mixing and matching at some point if it is necessary. So what is going to happen right now that we have this foundation built up is it's telling me there's a lot of resources I'm going to need, such as a fusion relay. We're going to need some titanium, uranium, a bunch of different things, which may not actually be accessible on this point of the map, right? What we'll have to do instead is start going for some planetary scans, which we can see from the Orbital Scanner menu up here at the top, but I haven't yet researched orbital scanning technology. That's actually one of the next things that I'm currently working on. It's just gonna be a few minutes, and in the meantime, we got a bunch more bugs on their way. Another threat has been dealt with easily. Let's go to our repair tool and make sure we quickly top up these walls. At some point, we're gonna want a double wall, maybe even triple wall. But for now, this should be okay. How much longer on research? 4 dang minutes. Okay, we can wait, we can make it. Oh, what's this? Another one of these discovery points. Ah, but I'm being bombarded! Okay, yep, these are some of the little guys. Like I said, you get far enough away from the base, scary nasties start to appear. These guys are explosive, so do not melee them. You will almost certainly regret it. This is where I do like making use of my rocket launcher, though, so you can just do a lot of splash damage and just go ahead and hit these guys from a good, long, safe distance. Perfect. All right, let's go ahead and crack open this weird egg, find out what's going on in here. Maybe something exciting. Maybe not, but I know it's about to draw a lot of attention. Look at all the bugs! Ah! There we go. Literal pools of blood. Oh, also a bunch of invisible enemies. Yep. We don't want to deal with them at all. Ha ha ha. Yeah, like I said, lots of scary things start to appear, including some giant behemoths and whatever else. But I want to see what's going to be inside of this egg. Gonna crack something amazing, I'm hoping. It is A few things, some different mods, projectiles per burst, target piercing, and so on. Ooh, that seems pretty nice. Mods are really, really powerful tools to boost up your weapons. Extra target piercing, some range, projectiles per burst. The only problem is we don't have any mod slots on our starting weapons. They can't actually fit anything, so they're kind of useless to me at the moment. We could go to the towers and actually open these up and install a mod that way, but these are just starter towers. I don't really see a ton of benefit in that. So for now, we're just gonna hold on to them. Whoa, whoa, what is this freaky thing? Oh my gosh, okay, I've never seen this guy before. He's kind of terrifying. Woo! Like I said, all sorts of scary aliens out over here. So I've unlocked the Orbital Scanning, and I've also got something called a Geo Scanner, because I need to find a large source of cobalt. Oh gosh, these aliens have gotten a little stronger since the last time I saw them. These things fight each other? Oh boy, I'm actually on the edge of the map. This is extremely dangerous. I do not like being here, but as long as we continue to strafe and pray, we'll probably be all right. Gosh, that thing is scary. Me no likey, go away. Oh, and now there's also a giant rock monster! Hooray! Rock monster! Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba! All right, this may be a mistake. I think what I'm gonna do is just go ahead and rift junk back home.
Carbonium storage is full.
Okay, and the good news is we can get right back into the action in a little bit, but I need some ammo before I jump into that mess again. Holy crap. Okay, I think I finally dealt with all this. Let's go ahead and use the Geo Scanner. So this is kind of like a metal detector of sorts, and we're looking for some resources. Is it way off in this direction? Nowhere nearby? Hang on. Aha! Okay, down over here, I actually did find a Cobalt Deposit. There it is! Oh wait, no, this is Carbonium. Darn it, not Cobalt at all. All right, still a pretty nice treasure. We can keep using this to try and find more. There's gotta be something else around here, yeah? Just keep running around. Where could it be? There it is, found something. Ironium, not what I'm looking for. I need cobalt, Ah, this isn't cobalt. What do we find? Hazenite? Oh, whole new resource I've never even seen before. Okay. Well, since I'm having a hard time finding all of the cobalt that I'm looking for, maybe instead we can go ahead and deal with some of the enemy spawners. A nest has appeared at some point, which means we probably can go and deal with that. Gotta deal with some of these scary invisible guys over here first, but yeah. So if we just pop in over here, we can start hacking away, and maybe it drops a whole load of goodies for me. There we go, thing goes boom, and what is this thing? I have no idea what the, whoa, God, okay, hang on, it just had a whole bunch of eggs. Okay, it spawned a lot of nastiness, hang on. Oh my sweet, sweet cobalt. Okay, that took a while. I think I was supposed to be able to get access to a deposit, but the random map generator just happened to throw some stuff in the way, and I wasn't able to actually get to it. Okay. Now we have access to cobalt, which means I can do some orbital scanning and find the resources I need for the rift. So let's take a look at building up this orbital scanner. That's gonna take a lot of materials, but we should have all of it at this point. So we'll go ahead and build you, let's say, I don't know, probably right over here is fine. I wanna make sure we leave plenty of space around my rift because I know I'm gonna have to feed a bunch of special fluids into it, but we'll come back to that. Radars, by the way, are showing there are quite a few alien life forms nearby. I can't tolerate that. Let's go kill them. Now, there's a bunch of new production things I've recently found. For example, liquid materials and pipelines, pumps, and so on. I could filter out some mud from geothermal plants that I'm currently working on, or maybe get some gas, etc. Biocomposter, all of that sounds helpful. What's this blinky red thing on the map here? Does this imply something big and scary is about to happen? Because I know we got a strong attack on the way, but I think it means, oh, probably one of my outposts is under attack. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. You gosh dang aliens. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, frickin' heck. All right, well, we'll deal with these guys in due time. Don't worry. Just a lot of strong aliens. That's all it is. It's fine. We can handle this. I'm actually being attacked in way more directions than I think I was expecting. And this is all happening because I upgraded my HQ to level 3, which they did warn was going to draw a lot of attention. Admittedly, this is more attention than I wanted. You know, I love attention. Attention is great. However, there is a limit to how much I can handle, and you guys are smothering me. Stop it! Anyway, what was I trying to say? Right, we can start taking like some biomass and some water and stuff and start creating flammable gas. This is where the game starts to become a bit more complex. Because now we're gonna have to deal with, you know, making mud or sludge into water. So for example, if I were to, whoops, that's the wrong button. We have some geothermal power plants already producing mud. So if I were to go for, let's say, a simple water filtration plant like this, going into maybe some liquid storage, kind of like this. And then I think I can probably go here and get some piping going. Unfortunately, it gets a little bit tricksy with the walls that I've already got set up. I don't know if there's a way for me to get around my walls. I don't think so. So what I may have to do is actually demolish, like, let's say, a little piece like this. You can get sold, for example. There we go. Okay, get rid of that. And then we can go ahead and start piping a bit of mud into our filtration system like this. And then with the water, we'd be able to feed it in kind of like this, a coolant system. Kind of get the idea? So this is where the game suddenly starts to find itself getting a bit more complex. Alas and alack, this is also where I'm going to have to leave you for this particular video because, well, my time is up and we have a long, long way to go, but I hope this gives you an idea of what you can look forward to in Riftbreaker. A reminder that there's a lot of things we have to do, including getting uranium, palladium, and titanium, and we're just currently at the stage of trying to get our orbital scanner and stuff really up and running. That's one thing we're trying to do, and we're not even doing a great job of it. But I also have to research my alien technology, which I am currently working on. That's 15 minutes away. Once we have that, it's a whole load of new technologies available on top of everything else. There's a lot to do in this game. An absolute ton to do in this game. So if you're looking for a base builder with a fair challenge and plenty of action and exploration against an alien menace, well then the Riftbreaker might very well be for you. A big thank you to the developers for sponsoring this video. I hope that you guys certainly enjoyed, and if you guys did, maybe you can take a look at the link in the description down below and take advantage of the sale while it is still going on. My name is Pravus, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.